So a couple of years down the road, you wake up humming a tune under your breath as you
Yeah.
come into the waking world. You kind of come to life and you're just kind of like humming to yourself as you're wiping the sleep away from your eye. You're just kind of going, "It's all good, man. It's all good, man. It's all good, man." And you kind of like fully, wake up and the song goes away. You kind of forget that you're even singing it.
It's all good, man.
You kind of, but you kind of think that to yourself, even though you kind of have only a vague memory of the song now. You look around, you look at your room, you look at all the stuff that you own, all the different awards and stuff that you've accumulated over the years, and you
Why
think
do I have awards?
you just have a lot of like trophies from your youth.
What do you mean for my youth?
So you when you were younger, you went on a 15-year streak of winning first place in the Dupo, Illinois pie eating contest.
God damn it.
And like they called you the killer whale. They called you Shamu
What?
because
Oh, fuck, man.
but it's only because of your killer instinct,
Hmm.
you know?
That Pat,
I mean, the adults were all like, "No, it's just because, you can take down anything." And you could
yeah,
back
but
then.
pies.
You actually eventually retired um at the age of 22 from the
Wait,
pot.
you tell me I have a 15-year reign that ends at 22, Pat.
Yeah.
I was a pie eating champion when I was 7 years old,
Well,
and
yeah, I
every
mean,
year thereafter.
well, in the kids division, and then once you hit for the pie eating competition, the official rules are that you can enter the adult, competition once you hit age 12. They just consider that,
Well,
yeah,
oh
that's when you
man,
can do it. So you're in the youth league pie eating league, they called it.
the youth league pie eating league.
Yeah, that's what they called it. And
Oh
so
man.
and you wrecked shop, dude. People, especially like by the third one that you win in a row, people are
We
looking at
when I was nine, when I turned 9 years old,
people.
this third consecutive pie eating contest I win at the age of 9.
People were like, you overheard people whispering like, he's like holy shit, I haven't seen work like that in a long time. You hear someone go like, I don't want to jinx it, but could we be looking at the next Grizzly Wrinkles? Grizzly Wrinkles is a legendary competitive pie eater.
I'm in.
Yeah, he is considered without a doubt uh, the most dominant pie eater of all time, at least in the Midwest region. It's not even close. And so to hear that, you're like, holy shit, because he actually, um, he was considered a prodigy, and he won 10 in a row. However, back then it was a lot, even though was the most dominant, it's kind of like you go, could Wilt Chamberlain play in today's NBA? You know what I
Was
mean?
he eating in competitions that were like segregated?
Pardon me.
Was he like eating in competitions that were like segregated?
Well, no, it's just the adult league and the youth league, and then there's also the senior league.
Well, how old do you have to be to get into the senior league?
65.
So from 12 to 65, you're in the adult league.
Yep. The adult league is, yeah, considered the big one.
Sure.
So it wasn't segregated, no, but it was definitely like um split up by age.
Sure.
Yeah. And
But
so
Grizzly Wrinkles, I fucking torch him. His record is toast.
his record is toast, yeah.
Because
And
again, I win every
and when
title
you
for
when you
15 years,
when you
starting at seven
actually
years old.
when you surpassed him, when you went to 11 wins in a row, they actually like brought you a piece of toast and it said his record is toast on it. It was written in bacon bits and butter. You just chomped it down, even though you were so full of pie. You chomped it down, and to this day, it is the most satisfying
Yeah, dude.
breakfast
I
that
bet.
you ever had in your fucking life.
I bet. I really do. I could see that being very satisfying. Chasing a legend,
And then
like Grizzly Wrinkles.
at age 22, you actually had to retire young due to a an injury.
What kind of competitive eating injury am I getting?
You you twisted your you twisted your jaw. You were like one day you were just like chewing gum so furiously one day uh and you
Night
like
platinum?
you were chewing on some fucking night platinum gum and you ended up chewing so hard and that you missed the gum and like you know what I mean and bit your own like teeth or whatever and so they called it like a they call it pulling your jaw so you pulled your jaw and it didn't do anything like it doesn't hurt or anything like that but it definitely slows you down in eating which isn't that big of a deal unless you're a competitive pie eater so it was with great sadness, but absolutely no regret. You hang up your fucking Spurs when it comes
Man,
to competitive pie eating. They actually had a retirement ceremony for you in the Dupo High School gym, and they brought you out, and they gave you a microphone to like say a few words. Grizzly Wrinkles' granddaughter was there to present you with like a bouquet of white roses from her family. She's like, on behalf of the Wrinkles family, and I know Uncle Grizz, as we called him, is looking down from his buttery heaven that he's in, and he's smiling, knowing that another champion has come and gone. And so they give you a microphone to say a few words, and like grown men are in the rafters, like weeping. There are young girls who are inconsolable. The boys and the teenagers, even though they're at the age where you'd think they'd do this, they don't even try to hide their tears. They don't give a fuck. Everyone was
invested
crying.
these people are in my competitive eating career.
Well, yeah, man. People called you the light of Dupo. It was like it was the main thing that your town won in the Midwest pie eating contest. And so you get the microphone and you go, guys, you might not believe this, but if I had the chance, I'd do it all over again. And people are like, whoa, like their minds are blown. And then you go, the only regret that I have is that, well, I'm only going to be your friend in one lifetime. You go, well, I had more to say, but I really got to take a shit. And you put the mic back in the stand and you like run to like the bathroom on the far end of the gym and the whole fucking stadium or gym stands up and they just clap
Yeah,
standing
man.
ovation as you run to the men's room.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you kind of you look over
I
at
just
the
unload.
Yeah. You look over at your trophies in the competitive pie eating contest, and you kind of have like a reminisce. You can reminisce a little bit.
Did anybody like talk to me about that? Or did they just all accept that I was just gonna go take a mega shit?
I mean, what? I mean, you said you had to, and like you didn't think you were going to
Yeah,
when you started talking. You only realized like, oh, like one, two sentences in, you were like, oh, I'm gonna have to take a shit when I'm done with this, and you realize, nope, this one's coming now, and you just went like, guys, but because here's the deal, you were honest about it, and that's why that's part of why they loved you,
yeah, but did anybody like talk to me about it afterwards?
Oh yeah, I mean, like you come out later, and
What
um,
do you mean? What do you mean by later? Like, how much time am I in there?
37 minutes.
What?
Yeah,
No,
but you come out and but there's still
no.
people there, and like they're kind of like milling around, and there's like people talking, and they have like there's like a bowl of punch, you go and like and people come up to you and like, oh, Aaron, like hey, congrats, shame about the injury, you're definitely gonna be like a big what if, this
Yeah, thanks.
this kid comes up to you and he goes, Aaron, you've inspired me to begin my competitive pie eating career. Don't worry, I'll do us proud. He looks at you and his lower lip like quivers a little bit as like the tears well in his eyes, and he goes,
God,
maybe I could start calling myself Aaron.
no. Say be yourself, kid. That's what I tell you.
He goes,
Don't be me. Be you.
he kind of like nods and he's like, yeah. He walks away. As he walks away, he sneezes directly into the punch bowl, and everybody's like, oh, and he like leaves.
Oh, great.
So you kind of have like, this quick little like remembrance,
Yeah.
and you smile and you're like, another day, another mission.
What?
So, this is a few years down the road. You have gone through several different jobs. You kind of went through a little bit of like a life crisis, and you ended up just kind of going from like job to job. You know, you for a while you worked as you were an agent, but you were like an agent for like just people applying for jobs. And so you would do salary negotiations with like for a Barnes and Noble cashier position, or
Yeah.
you would negotiate with somebody about their paralegal salary, or also you also handled Apple Store for the geniuses, stuff like that. All of this all these different jobs you would call on behalf of people and try to negotiate the salary.
Sucks.
You're like
God, that sounds like a fucking awful job.
you made a commercial where you're like
What?
where it's you're wearing a a very very form fitting like
Oh, no.
shirt with like a tie, you know what I mean?
No. Come on.
But and you have like a cigar in your hand, and you're like,
Why such a tight shirt?
to show how tough you are. You're like, the
No one.
commercial is, you go, hi, are you just a blue collar guy who's trying to make it in this crazy mixed up world? You need to get paid what you're worth. My name is Aaron Brooks, and I will fight for you. I will not rest until I get you the compensation and salary that you deserve. And then it cuts to some woman going, oh my gosh, who are you? And then you turn to the camera and you go, I'm Aaron Brooks, and I'm on the side of good. So
That fucking
you
sucks. So bad.
what do you mean?
The fuck do you think I mean, Pat? All of that sucks. I'm calling to negotiate. I don't know shit about this. This sounds like a sales job and it sucks.
You just
That
negotiate.
fucking that commercial fucking sucks.
Yeah, you only had one take to do it. And
Yeah, it sounds
so
like it.
you basically and you call and you definitely fight on behalf of your clients where you're like, so one of them is a overnight HEB stalker, and they're offering him $15 an hour. And you're talking to the manager, the hiring manager there. You're like, Curtis, come on, don't fuck me here. Why are
Yeah.
you trying to fuck me? Remember earlier on in the year when I brought in Michelle to clean overnight? Look how well she did. All right. I
Yeah.
know what the
And I could
fuck I'm doing here, Curtis. All right. God damn it. And you're
I
trying
could
to
put this guy
fuck
in a
me.
Randall's like tomorrow, you know?
Yeah. And you point that
This
out.
guy,
Are very aggressive with this. And
man, why?
you curse a lot. Because you watch Jerry
Oh.
Maguire and you just get like super pumped up.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's where you get the
This is a
idea.
Jerry Maguire themed episode.
Yeah. Yeah. One night you're watching Jerry Maguire and you were just like the tears were flowing the whole time, man. And
That movie
so
opens with a violent, not violent, but aggressive sex scene where they're like just fuck. I remember watching that with my mom and being
yeah,
just like, "Oh, fuck.
yeah.
This is awesome." But, you know,
When it gets to the part of you had me at hello, the big, iconic line,
yeah, yeah.
you mouth the words
Sure.
along with it.
You have me at hello.
And you watch that and you kind of get inspired to do that. And so you do that for a little while, for about a year or so. Uh
A
doesn't really
year?
yeah, it doesn't really end up working out.
Fuck, man. Yeah. How would it work out?
You so for a while there you were just living on, unemployment. You were working on you're working on like a script for like a movie.
Yeah,
It's about a guy who teaches like children martial arts, like karate,
yeah,
and he has like a dojo for kids.
yeah.
Except he's like, but he's betrayed by his by his child students. They like just beat the shit out of him one day.
Why?
Well, they betray him. They leave him for dead, and then they leave. And
Why are they doing this?
well, that's the screenplay, and so it's about the guy kind of recovering from that, and it's like a detective movie. And so he goes out and he, tracks the kids down, and he's like, like, where is he? Like he talks like that and shit like that. And
This sucks. It
they
sounds
turned on
so
him.
bad.
They joined a different kids dojo.
Yeah.
Yes, the first one is called it's called Kids Dojo number 2. Is like the enemy one. And they joined his dojo because they have they offer pizza on Fridays, and so they like just
Yeah.
beat the shit out of the dojo master and like
Okay.
betrayed him and joined the other place because it
Okay.
is good pizza. They get it from this place, Grendel's Local Pizza, every Friday. That so you work on that for a little bit. It's called you call it Sunrise and Violence question mark. Sunrise and Violence? You mean it as like a deep statement? Because there's a you have like the reason it's called that is that in the middle of the screenplay there's like a 10-page monologue about uh
No, there's not, Pat. I'm not gonna put a 10-page monologue
it's the first
in
draft. And so
Pat.
the dojo master in the movie, his name is Darren Hardball. Darren gives a 10-page monologue about the first time he ever saw, you know, real violence and how it was in the sunrise back in the day. And it's like and you write it and you're like, that this is going to get made once people get to this monologue. You know what I mean? You know that people are going to be like, we need to see this. That's how confident you are
I don't like this.
in sunrise and violence.
A 10
So,
page monologue.
but you feel like you have found a job that you like and that you're going to stick around for. You enjoy yourself going to work. Your coworker is this guy, and he's cool. He's excuse me, a little older. Definitely, you know, been around the block. You look at this guy, and you're like, you just kind of see like an older, overweight guy. You just see a dude who looks like a dad, even though he's not a dad. But
Okay.
you can tell that back in the day, this guy was not to be fucked with.
Yeah. Okay.
Used to be a boxer.
Yeah.
So you actually you hear him like that morning outside honking his horn, except instead of a horn, it is a horn, but it makes a noise of like rough, rough,
Yeah.
and you go, you say out loud as you put on a pair of sunglasses, oh, here it goes. You walk outside and parked in front of your apartment building is Joe the animal.
Joe the animal.
Joe the animal works for animal control, and he definitely goes about it in a decidedly old school way. You know,
Yeah. He doesn't
we
take shit off anybody.
absolutely. And when you first met him, at first you were like, on paper, I feel like this would should be an unpleasant kind of guy, but within an hour, you're like, no, this guy rules.
He's great.
You guys just get along. He's
Yeah.
able to, he gets you like, these certain gigs and stuff like that, and sometimes they're not that great, but you think to yourself, you got to start somewhere with animal control. So you and Joe the animal, you guys kind of go around, you track down mostly stray
Wait,
dogs.
he's
It's
getting me animal control gigs.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
So he gives you this gig, and then there's definitely stuff that you can do.
You're saying gig like it's a scheduled performance.
Well, I don't mean that. I mean like he basically will get you like extra jobs on the side. And
There's an overflow.
well, yeah, because some of the places that you go to, um, you have they're places that they have like guard dogs and stuff like that for parties and stuff like that. Kind of like these parties that are like these weird, like definitely incredibly rich people type of parties. And you're there to kind of just make sure the security dogs don't go crazy.
Yeah.
You're paid under the table, cash.
Okay.
You ask no questions. They offer no answers. They definitely have like a masquerade kind of thing going on sometimes. But you
But
you just kind of hang out. They have like the masks and
do
shit.
I have to wear a mask?
No.
Okay. I mean, can I? I would feel very out of place and uncomfortable if I'm the only person not wearing a mask at this masquerade party. I would be like in my work polo or jacket or whatever,
Yeah.
but I would probably want to wear a mask to conceal my identity.
So they do
Otherwise,
end
I'm
up
going to feel very exposed, you
sure.
know?
They do end up giving you a mask after you get there. When you walk in, the only kind of weird thing about this particular gig is that no one actually talks to you or to anyone. It's a silent party, and
Okay.
that you walk in and you know that going in, like Joe the animal told you that, oh, it's like this weird group. I don't really know exactly what's going on in there, and you go in there and he had told you, these guys don't talk, just so you know, they will not talk. And you walk in and on a table it's just like several index cards. You look over and it just says like, "Hello, Aaron. Like, welcome. Thanks for looking after the guard dogs. We appreciate it. We got a mask here for you. It's optional, but if you want to get into the spirit of things, go ahead. They have like the cash already there for you. All of it. They know they're basically like, if we know Joe, he recommended you. He's done this before, so like we know you're not
Yeah.
gonna, yeah. So you're there hanging out, and he kind of gives you like gigs like that. You know what I mean? Under
Yeah. So I'm
the
just there to
table.
like watch a dog to make sure a dog doesn't freak out. A dog that is part of like a set piece doesn't like I'm an animal handler.
Yeah. That one particular gig that you're at, you found out later, it was a secret society of people who go by their middle names.
Oh.
Yeah. And you kind of think to yourself, I'll have to find those again someday. But that's a story for another day. So you're working with Joe the animal, and you are having the time of your life. You know, it's an adrenaline rush that you didn't even know existed. You know, and the only problem that you're having is a relatively recent development. There's this guy who essentially will adopt a dog, and after 2 or 3 days, we'll just go, never mind, and just like drive it somewhere and just leave it, drive back home. So that, creates a stray
It's
dog.
abandoning a dog. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a stray dog situation, a triple S, as you call it in the biz.
Where's the third S?
You kind of think that to yourself. So,
A stray dog situation, a triple S.
because it's stray dogs and the S is capitalized, the S at the end of dogs, stray dogs situation, a triple S.
God damn it.
It's just like a little joke between you and Joe the animal. So you're trying to like track this guy down. However, you're in a pretty good mood because you found a clue.
Clue, you say?
That's right, a clue. What happened was you were hanging out, you were tipped off the night before. You were sitting at your apartment just kind of hanging out,
Yeah.
and your phone rang. You looked down at it,
Okay.
and you didn't recognize the number, but something was telling you to answer the phone. And so
Okay.
you answer the phone, you're like, "Hello?" And at first, the only thing that you hear on the other side of the phone is like chewing.
Ew.
Yeah, and
Somebody
you're
smacking their lips.
yeah, a little bit. And you kind of go like, "What the hell? Who is calling me this late at night?" And they're like eating something. You look up. You look up right as the clock strikes midnight, and hear a voice on the other side of the phone, on the other end of the phone. And it's kind of muffled, so it's a little hard to hear, but you just hear like Aaron Brooks. I
Yeah.
understand that you're going after the right people here. So I've got a clue for you, see?
Yeah.
And this voice on the other side, who never identifies himself, but he says like, "Hey, you're gonna want to check out Fifth and Vine Street."
Okay.
tomorrow. You hear the voice go, something tells me there'll be a clue that you can take a real bite out of. Good luck. Click. So you and Joe, the animal, head down to the intersection of Fifth
Fifth
and
and
Hunt,
Vine.
and you see that it's a house that got converted into what appears to be like a nightclub,
Okay.
and the nightclub is called um, the Bite Zone.
Ugh. The bite zone.
So you looked into it that morning, like you kind of did a Google search to be like, what is there? What's there? And it turns out that it's a bar for like people who cosplay as vampires. And so they wear, you know, fake teeth, you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
drink they drink stuff that they say is blood. It's not really blood, you know what I mean? It's like water that they or like it's
Like
usually red wine.
grenadine.
Yeah, and they put stuff into it. And they live the vampire lifestyle. And so they're asleep during the day, but they're out at night.
Yeah. Okay.
So you pull up, Joe the animal looks at you. He's like, all right, Aaron, let's go hunt some fake vampires.
Why are we hunting these people?
All you know is that someone called you and they gave you a clue.
So we're gonna go kill all these fake vampires?
Well, you're not
I
really
mean, they
gonna
have the.
kill. You're gonna like look into it. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Because Joe
So,
said hunt.
well, he meant it like he was just kind of like joking around.
Okay.
So, but even as you say that, you slide your hand into your like jacket pocket real quick just to double check that that bulb of garlic is still there. You just think to yourself, hey, man, I've seen some things and I am not leaving anything to chance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you guys go and you sort of like poke around the outside because everybody inside is asleep, you know? And you see that there's like obvious signs of them putting a dog into a car and the dog is trying to like not get in the car. You know what I mean? There's like
Yeah,
several
yeah,
dog marks of them fiercely trying to stay out of the car. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Joe looks at you. He's like, this is definitely the place. We've got him. He goes, Aaron, this is your case. It's your call. How do we handle this?
Joe, I have no fucking idea. I have no clue what are we supposed to kill these people? You said hunt, right? We're at the
Yeah.
right place. Like you're the experienced animal control officer here, not me. This is a little, you know, above my head, out of my pay grade. Like,
He kind of like nods at you and he goes, you're right, Aaron. He goes, here's what we'll do. He's like, let's come back at night while they're awake and let's check out this nightclub. We can investigate. He looks at you. He goes, Aaron, this is the first time that I've admitted this to anyone other than myself, but I don't know how many more of these cases I've got in me. He goes, you're still new at this, but there are nights that I can't sleep because I remember all of the animal control cases that I couldn't solve. What, where was Jack, the pit bull that ran away? I don't know. We never found him, Aaron. And that 5-year-old girl cried herself to sleep that night. He goes, these are the things that I remember. I go to sleep at night and sometimes I feel like I'm gonna have a conversation with a bunch of ghosts. He goes, anyway, this is the one I think. He goes, this might be my last ride. He goes, are you with me, partner? He sticks out his fucking
What the
hand.
fuck are we doing, Joe? What are you doing right now? What are you asking me to do?
He goes, Aaron, meet me back here at,
I probably rode with him.
yeah, but like this is like during the day. You guys went to check it out. But he's like, let's meet back here. Let's come back at 9 o'clock tomorrow, 9 o'clock tonight. And we just, he looks at you and he goes, and you'll have my back on this, right?
Yeah, what does that mean though?
He goes, all it
What
means
are you
is
asking me to do?
he just goes, look, man.
I'm here. We'll go to the nightclub together.
He goes, look,
We'll have a good time.
he goes, yeah, it's just that, these fake vampires. He just kind of like shivers a little bit. He's like, I gotta be honest with you. They kind of get to me. He goes, what I have to know from you is that if we go in there and they turn me into a fake vampire, that you'll know what to do.
Are you asking me to kill you if you turn into a fake vampire?
He
Because you
goes,
have a family.
I can't live like that, Aaron. Sleeping all day, being out all night.
I'm not going to kill you, Joe.
He goes, all right, fine. That's fine, I guess. But what I really have to know is that you've got my back.
Yeah, I'm not going to kill anybody. I'm not
He
going
goes,
to take a life.
we're not going to kill anyone. We're just going to talk to him and see if he's
Okay.
releasing these dogs.
Okay, fine.
He's like, you're so hung up on killing these people.
Yeah, I don't want to kill.
He's like,
Sorry. I don't want to kill.
well, yeah, we're not going to kill him. So you agree to meet back later. You kind of just go about your day. You take the rest of the day off. You catch up on watching chunks. You take a nap. You dream
Jokes.
you dream of a howling void. You wake up
Great.
a few hours later, and Joe the animal is outside waiting.
All right. Is it time for me to go? Like,
Yep.
it's like a dress for the club.
Oh yeah.
God, I'd have no idea.
You're wearing black jeans and a black t-shirt. You go outside and jump into Joe the animal's car. He's dressed like BDSM for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you think like kind of like, but like not like over the top, a more subtle BDSM, kind of like a
Yeah,
rab
yeah.
like a Rob Halford kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Like a diabetes BDSM.
Yeah, he's got like that hat.
Yeah, yeah. Small hat.
Yeah, small hat, pierced ear.
Yeah. What other piercings does he have? Who
He
knows?
has, yeah, yeah. You kind of like think that to yourself as you jump into the fucking car. He kind of laughs. He's like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "You know what? This reminds me of back in the day. You know, back with my." And he kind of like looks out the window and he goes, "My first partner."
Can we not do this right now? Please.
So
I'm already uncomfortable.
you guys pull up to the bite zone. You park a few blocks away.
Sucks.
You walk up. There's somebody out front dressed like Dracula, basically, like the old school Bela Lugosi type
Yeah.
thing. And
Big
so,
cowl.
yeah, oh yeah, you walk up, but he smiles. He couldn't be nicer, especially considering he's a guy checking IDs. Those guys
Yeah.
are never nice. But he kind of like smiles as you walk up. He's like, yeah, I just need to see your IDs, please, gentlemen. You guys have like fake IDs that you guys made earlier with your
Okay.
association with Joe. So you show the IDs and he looks at them and he goes, "Okay, Thank you so much, Mr. Scallions and Mr. Durst. Come on in. You guys walk in, and it's kind of exactly what you think it is. It's like a nightclub where they're like doomch, 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 doomch. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? People are kind of like hanging out.
This is the rhythm of the night.
Yeah. Nah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's the rhythm of your life.
Oh,
You walk in and you kind of like see like a door in the back that there's like some kind of mysterious people walking in and out of. You kind of nod towards it. Joe sees. He kind of does like sign language for like acknowledge. You guys have like a sign
yeah.
language you guys do.
Sure.
The one for acknowledged is he flips you the bird.
Great.
So you guys walk over because the music is so loud that it's kind of hard to hear, you know? And they're doing
Yeah.
like the strobe light effect. So it seems like people are moving almost in weird stop motion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
All these fake vampires. There's people who are dressed kind of like you, just kind of like just all black. Everyone's in all black. So there's people who are just wearing black pants and a black shirt, but there are some people who are dressed like, uh like steampunk vampires, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a few, punk vampires. Um, there's like a juggalo vampire for sure. And so you kind of see all these different people, cosplaying as vampires as you head to the back. So you watch the fake vampires move in, weird slow motion. You get to the back. Joe kind of like peeks his head in, and he's like, closes the door. He looks at you. He goes, "Kid, this is it. You got my back."
I've yet to truly define what that means. I don't want to tell you yes, and then you think that I'm going to pull a gun on somebody, you know.
He goes, "Guns can't kill fake vampires, Aaron." He goes, "And I should know. They killed my uncle." He like kicks down the door and he like pulls out a like a bow and arrow type thing, except
God
instead
damn
of
it, Joe.
except the arrows are like they have like garlic all like twined in them, and he just yells for Uncle Jesse, and he like shoots, the arrow. He misses completely, and like doors open, and there's just like a bunch of fake vampires back there. One of them is like petting a dog, and they all kind of look at you, and you go, uh, check, please. Your pants fall down. You're wearing white boxers with red hearts on them, and then
What the
the
fuck?
and then the you're just like the fake vampires just all fall on you at the same time, and they just
What the fuck?
beat the living fuck out of both of you guys. They pull you out into the dance floor as they're like stomping you guys because you broke their inner sanctum. You know what I mean? And tried to kill them. Tried to
Are
kill
you
the
fucking kidding me?
yeah, because
This
Joe tried to kill the fake vampire king of
he
Los
shot one
Angeles
arrow.
and missed. Yeah. And so but they don't, they can't put up with that's one of the laws, the ancient laws of fake vampirism is that if someone comes at you, you have to kill them. And so they bring you out into the dance floor and they just all start like stomping on you and stuff. Uh,
Great.
the last
You
thing you
fucking
hear,
kidding
the
me?
last thing you hear before all the life is stomped out of you is the next song starts playing. You just hear this voice go, "I need to see you out on the dance floor." But you guys die out there on the dance floor,
Fucks. Fuck this.
stomped to death. You and Joe the
Yeah,
animal.
I get it. Yeah. Bunch of bullshit.